For many, the morning is a mechanical process defined by avoidance. We battle a digital alarm, squint at a backlit screen, and push through the fog of sleep as quickly as possible. Historically, humanity approached this transition with a different posture. Every major civilization on Earth developed complex mythologies and physical rituals dedicated to the specific window when the sun first meets the horizon. In Maori mythology, the demigod Maui snared the sun to slow its path, establishing a balanced rhythm for human activity. This cyclical energy is encoded in the Koro spiral of their traditional carvings. To the ancient Egyptians, the sunrise was a daily battle for the preservation of order. The sun god Ra had to navigate the underworld to defeat chaos, ensuring the world could begin again. It is easy to view these stories as primitive reactions to a bright light. But the consistency of these solar devotions across isolated cultures suggests they were sensing a specific requirement of human biology. This is the focus of chronobiology, the study of how our bodies synchronize with the rotation of the Earth. It turns out that human evolution relies on specific external cues to calibrate our internal systems. When we examine the ancient records alongside modern clinical data, it appears that the two frameworks are tracking the exact same biological events. Ancient societies often personified the sunrise as a force for justice and truth. In Mesopotamia, the sun god Shamash was the divine judge whose light exposed the hidden crimes of the night. This mythological defeat of darkness is a description of a physical event, short blue wavelength light entering the human eye at dawn. This light signals the suprachiasmatic nucleus in the hypothalamus to suppress the production of melatonin, effectively ending the chemical cycle of sleep. With the sleep phase ended, spiritual traditions frame the morning as a little resurrection. This is the core of rituals like Christian Lauds or the Apache sunrise dance, which mark the transition with a literal rebirth. In clinical terms, this rebirth is the cortisol awakening response. The suprachiasmatic nucleus triggers the adrenal glands to release a surge of cortisol. This provides the physical energy and sharp focus required to navigate the day. These stories of daily resurrection and the defeat of darkness were observations of our own endocrine system booting up. This clarifies the intent behind another ancient practice. The Hindu Gayatri mantra specifically petitions a solar deity to illuminate the intellect and direct our minds. This petition for clarity is preserved in the Vedic texts, where the sunrise is treated as the primary source of wisdom. This concept is embodied by Surya, the sun god, who crosses the heavens in a chariot to bring light to the world and human mind. Modern neurochemistry supports this request for clarity. Exposure to early morning light stimulates the synthesis of serotonin and dopamine. These neurotransmitters are required for emotional stability and executive brain function. We are effectively absorbing the building blocks of mood and focus from the sky. By the 19th century, painters like Claude Monet recognized the sunrise was a subjective experience. They understood the most significant changes occur inside the brain. In Impression Sunrise, Monet used identical luminance values for the orange sun and the blue sky. To the primitive parts of the human visual cortex, the sun is virtually invisible. Because the brain has to work to reconcile the color contrast without a brightness difference, the sun appears to vibrate. It proves the sunrise is a collaborative event between the universe and human perception. Our modern environment ignores these evolutionary requirements. We often end our day by exposing our eyes to intense artificial light long after the sun has set. This activates the retina to perihabenular pathway at the wrong time. Clinically, this disruption is known to trigger depressive states and chronic anxiety. We can contrast this metabolic pressure with a technology we have lived with for millennia: simple circadian alignment. The specific cultural approach, whether it is a mantra, a body prayer, or simply standing outside with coffee for 10 minutes, does not change the result. The biological response remains the same. Calibrating this morning clock is what allows for a healthy melatonin rise 12 to 16 hours later. We are repairing our sleep architecture by starting the day correctly. The sunrise is an internal recalibration. Every morning, the environment offers a physiological blank slate. Ancient mystics and modern neuroscientists both agree. The day begins when we decide to step into the light.